now to give us the answer is Miss Russ. How you doing there, Miss Russ?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. Well, I think we both have a little bit of a cold. But.
Yes, we do. Okay, so the answer is G. You want x minus 2, in parentheses, squared. So where does that x minus 2 come from? Okay, well, many of you might be tempted to go with the x plus 2, because as you can see, we moved from here over to here. Okay, so many of you will be tempted to move a 2 to the right and say that it would be a plus 2. But actually, when we're talking about what's inside the parentheses in x, it is the opposite of what you might think. Instead of moving, when you see a negative 2 in there, instead of moving to the left, we move to the right. Okay, and if you think about it, the root is right over here, and the root is equal to 2. Okay, when the root is equal to 2, if you're moving backwards, trying to get your quadratic equation from that, you would have x minus 2, and that would be equal to 0. So you would have to add 2 to both sides so that the root would be x equals 2.
You know, I always get that mixed up myself. So like the minus 2 within the parentheses there actually moves it in the positive direction. Because I kind of have to make x2 bigger to make a 0 out of it.
You're right.
Yeah, thanks, Miss Russ. I get that mixed up. All right. All right, Miss Russ, are you ready to answer another question for us?
I am always ready to answer
all right,
questions.
fabulous.
Okay, so now this one, you are moving up. Okay, so we started off with our parabola, and we moved it up 2 units. Okay, so this time, we want to have our plus 2 on the outside, not on the inside with the x, but actually with our function. Remember, our original function is x squared. Okay, so now we want to take that function and we want to move it up 2 places. So the plus 2 is not inside the parentheses, but after the function.
So if it, wait a minute, so if it's after the function, in fact, the positive 2 does move it in the positive y direction.
That's right. It's
the
opposite when it's inside the parentheses.
Oh, yeah, right. Because if my 0 point there, 0 squared is still 0. If I add 2, it actually moves it up 2 in the y direction. Yeah, I get that mixed up.